1, 2.
Yeah.
All right. Is it
Yep.
good?
You see the yellow bouncing when y'all talk?
Right there.
That's
Yep.
it.
That's where y'all gotta be.
So when that comes on over there, then we're live.
When you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
3, 2, 1.
Ready? Okay.
Serious.
You good to go?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, thanks for joining us. We're here at our podcast live from the Doubletree Hotel in Reading, Pennsylvania. I'm here with a different guest this time.
A better looking guest.
My usual partner, Andrew Floyd, took a step to the side, but he will be back shortly. I have a guest to the side here, my son, Travis Kauffman, and we're going to talk about the upcoming fight, his very first pro show and amateur show, both. It's a pro-am show. And Travis, what can you tell us about the show that you have coming up on this Saturday, November 23rd?
Well, first of all, let me say that Travis My Time Kauffman got his first promotional company, his first day. He's making a debut as a promoter, November 23rd, which is this Saturday, at the River Edge, on Route 183 in Reading, Pennsylvania. It's the exact location my father, from Marshall Kauffman from King's Promotions, made his debut on my 9th birthday. So here I am, 34 and a half, and I'm making my debut as a promoter. I just hope to be half as successful as him in the promoting game. So far, it's a pain in the butt, and I haven't done much.
But who did all the work?
You did all the work. However, that's why I said it's been a pain in the butt, and I haven't done much. But I'm very honored. We're having amateurs. Of course, the thing I want to do is continue to allow these amateurs to fight on my card. I'm the biggest name in the city when it comes to boxing right now. And I want these amateurs to feel privileged that there's a guy who's still in the limelight that gives them an opportunity to fight and be under their card. And, not just pros, we're doing pro and am. But this show we're doing the pro-ams, and the main event is a former two-time world champion, Kermit Cintron. We're also having USBF welterweight champion, Kashan Hutchinson, and Luis Morales from Harrisburg. It's going to be a great night of boxing. I'm very honored to have my first show at the same event, the same location my father had his first show. So I'm looking forward to it. You going to be there?
November 23rd.
I think.
First of all, let me say that.
I think I'll be there. I'm not sure whether I'm going to show up or not.
He got fired already.
But no, I'll definitely be there. I'm excited about the return of Kermit Cintron, of course. Kermit's always been a very exciting fighter, in winning or losing. He always brings it, and he always has a great fan base. And Kermit's going to have over 100 people there supporting him. And
Ringside sold out, by the way.
Ringside is sold out.
Sold out completely.
So
yes.
don't come to the door asking for ringside tickets because they are completely gone. Not one ticket left. So don't say, "Oh, let me pay extra." No, too late. I'm sorry. Can't kick anyone else out of their seat. Now, if you want to wait till someone leaves and then buy their ticket, we can do that. Night would be over, but we're more than willing to do that. But it's going to be a great night of fights. I'm excited about the amateur fights. I haven't been to an amateur fight in quite some time, and you definitely haven't either.
Probably since my last amateur fight, which was not last one.
You were there when Julius fought.
When my son fought, but before that was 15 years ago.
Yeah, so.
But I miss it, so I'm honored to be back in the game, the amateur game. I wish I could go back where it was all fun, where before the money came in. Now we do it for the money and the big bucks, and of course to be the champion of the world. But I miss doing it, just for the fun, and that's what it's about for these kids.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you think? There's going to be a couple fighters from King's Gym fighting there, and that's always a good thing. Whenever you have your local hometown.
Well, it's not just
Reading
King's Gym. We
fighters.
have Star City Boxing Gym there.
Correct.
I think there's another gym from Reading, or is it just Star City and?
I think it's just Star City and Kings that are
from Reading.
Be there. Correct.
So like I said, me being the face of boxing in our city of Reading, Pennsylvania, I think it was always something that was in my heart to do amateur shows. I never really thought about the pro shows because, being a professional boxer could be a little touchy for me. So, but I'm honored and I'm blessed and I'm excited more than anything. I'm looking bummy right now because I've just been working and grinding, getting everything together for this Saturday.
I thought that was your normal look.
Well, I'm lying, man. I'm lying. This is.
Hey, look, if you're tuning in and you're watching on Facebook Live, please share this post. We want to get as many people to hear about it, to know about what's going on in Reading on the 23rd. 1 week, or more like 5 days before Thanksgiving.
Can I quick mention something? Sorry to cut you off.
Sure.
I'm used to doing that. I've been doing it my whole life, which is why I used to get spanked. I can't get spanked no more. You can try. But anyways, the Thanksgiving. We're doing it 5 days before Thanksgiving. We're taking a percentage of proceeds and giving it to needy families. I know there's families at this time of the year who don't have the financial backing to be able to provide food. So be sure to inbox me, Travis Kauffman, on Facebook. I'll pick two or three or four people, depending the situation, depending on the outcome. Regardless of the outcome, I'm still going to provide food for the families, and I'm looking forward to that. But we're taking a percentage of the proceeds, and we're going to feed a couple families, and I'm really looking forward to that.
No, that's good. That's great. I mean, that's always a good thing. It's something that was a tradition that I've done for many years. I made it a point to go to the Boys Olives and Girls Club and gave turkeys away and just turkey dinners in general. And so I think it's a good thing to keep that tradition going. And so what better way to do it behind boxing, you know? I've seen a lot of promoters do that throughout the years, and I think it's good that we can do that as well. And it's going to be a fun night. It really is. It's going to just being able to go back to the same location. And I remember Greg Serb talking about, oh man, I remember those good old days of the River Edge. Greg Serb used to love it there with the great fights that we had there with
Craig
Tomlinson,
Tomlinson,
Bobby Heath, you name it. You know, Keenan Collins, yourself. You know,
I was a young puppy.
Just a number of fighters fought there. You know, Terrence Carlton, who was a former Olympian, he fought there. There's a number of different fighters that came through there that fought. So it's the River Edge has a tradition of good fights that take place there. So it's going to be a fun night, and I'm really looking forward to these fights with Bazooka and Minor, which is going to be a good fight to start off from the pro side of it. Of course, I'm talking about the pros because that's what I'm most familiar with nowadays. And then the Keyshawn Hutchinson, who's on a roll, who's got a 3-fight win streak. He's confident. He's got that belt, and he's looking forward to. And he's got a lot of people coming.
A lot.
You know, I'm surprised.
Thankful for him.
Keyshawn sold a lot of tickets. You know, and then of course Kermit really went far and above by having over 100 people. So Kermit's excited about it, and and I think he just wants to get back in the ring again and show that he still has it and has something left. And there's money to be made. You know,
and it's his first fight at 168.
First fight at 168 is true. And I really, like tonight, he said he weighed out of the gym at 171. He really can get back down to 160 if he really wanted to.
Oh, absolutely.
But he's excited about it. You know, he's ripped. He's 40 years old. He looks great. He still, you know, looks good. He still looks good in the gym. So I think there's the one thing that's always there for former top contenders is an opportunity to make some money. And who wouldn't want to make a payday of $50,000 or $100,000 if possible? And I think that's what Kermit's ultimate goal might be, is to be able to get back in there and make a nice $50,000 payday or $100,000 payday. And so I'm excited. Let's just hope that everything goes well for him and he's comes out there without being harmed or hurt in any way. And I hope it's just going to be a great night of fights, you know, overall. You know, from the amateurs to, and you know, I don't know many of you that haven't seen amateur fights, when you see two little kids that are like 10 years old go at it, that's one of the most exciting times.
Absolutely, because then those kids may be our future champions of the world.
Yeah, so it's great. But hey, look, it's going to be a fun night of boxing. So come on out, get your tickets. Where is it that they can go on Eventbrite yet and get the tickets?
Eventbrite.com, search up Thanksgiving Rumble. Remember, ringside is sold out. It's still going to say on Eventbrite that ringside is there. Do not get them because you won't get them. The only thing that's left is general admission. You go there, get that, or call 484-663-3523. That's My Time Promotions. Call and we could meet up and get some tickets to you guys.
Get your tickets. Don't wait. It's going to be a night that you won't forget. It really will be. It's going to be a fun night and just the start of My Time Promotions. So hopefully not too many more because he's trying to run me in the ground here. You know.
I'm trying to get back in the ring. Right now I'm just trying to make some money before I get back in the ring.
So, hey, once again, anything more to say, Trav?
No, I'm just I'm very thankful, and I'm humbled by the experience. Absolutely, it's been rough. Even though my dad has done everything on the pro side of things, and I have a guy who's been helping me out, Mo Morales, on the amateur side of things. And without them, this show.
Mo's done a great job with those.
Excellent job. And without Mo, we wouldn't have the amateur side. So I'm very grateful for both of them that have helped me out. I'm looking forward to this night. I don't want to sit here and talk about me, and when I come back, that we could talk about that on another podcast. But I just definitely wanted to come tonight to talk about this Saturday, November 23rd, headlining Carmen Cintron. It's going to be a heck of a night. He's trying to come back and take over the 168 division. And what better place to be Saturday night than there?
That's right. Hey, well, look, thank you for joining us. We're going to take a little brief 2-minute intermission. When we come back, we're going to have a little questionnaire that you can win 2 tickets for Saturday night's fight.
They can?
Yes, 2 tickets.
That's coming out of my money.
That's what we're doing. So stay tuned. We're going to have a question that you have to answer, and Andrew Foy will be joining us as well. We'll be right back. Let's think of a question.
Know if Paredes is indeed that hurt.
Double left hand, left to the body, dropped him. Robert! Chance to see that double left hand once again.
Sometimes the hook to the body sets up the hook to the head. Here it's in reverse. Hook, body, and out. And he spit out, you see the mouthpiece or the gum shield on the canvas there. That was a sign that it didn't matter what the referee counted to. Paredes was not getting up.
Very effective performance.
You see it again, just looking at the reach advantage that Easter has. And you could say he set it up with the right hand as well. And now he knows his opponent's on the ropes. There's nothing Paredes has to scare Easter there. And he picked the right punch because there was a clear avenue for that left hook to land. And one last look. You like to see Easter keep that left hand up when he's punching in combination, but now he's going to use it. And Paredes protecting the chin, so what do? Look at how big a target that is. Ow.
Clean, perfect, over.
I think that says it all, Barry.
Yeah. Yeah. Did not even require a count. Well, 1-5.
Turn it off.
All right, we're on. All right, we're back, and we thought of a question that Travis is going to ask.
Oh.
And so we're going to see if anybody has that answer. Travis isn't going to wait around for it because it takes you guys way too long to answer, and Travis has to
And
rush.
Google's not allowed, all right?
We're actually going to give you 1 minute.
It has to do with the River Edge, and it has to do with me, of course, because it's my time promotions. Who was the last person I fought at the River Edge in Reading, Pennsylvania?
That's a tough
So, that's a tough one. It was my 10th fight, I think. Ninth fight. 9th or 10th fight?
Okay.
10th fight. It was my 10th fight, I believe. I believe it was my 10th professional fight. It was many, many moons ago. I was a young little whippersnapper then. Had hair on my head. I think you had more hair on your head, too.
I definitely have more hair on my head. And the hair was darker, too. So if you can think of something, I haven't seen anything yet. Just waiting to see what someone delivers here. Let me know. But hey, look, Travis is going to go.
I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys very much. I'm going to church.
Andrew will be coming in and taking over, and we'll be talking about the rest of our upcoming fights. So hey, thanks for being here.
Thank you guys, and I'll see you all Saturday. Doors open at 5:30 p.m.
5:30.
First fight starts at 6 p.m.
Just make sure you have 2 tickets.
Be there.
Just make sure you have 2 tickets to give away.
I have 2 tickets to give away. You better answer now.
All right. Hey, so we're going to be talking about, Andrew and I are going to start talking about other shows that we have that we're very excited about as well. Not only 11:23, but we also have 12:06 in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena, and then we have 12:14 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and so it's going to be a very busy month of December for King's Promotions. And so, as you can see, Andrew's back on with me, and so Andrew, great having you. I'm glad you just got here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Andrew was on the side watching the whole time.
Yeah. Before we start, though, I have to say, for people that are interested in the event this weekend in Reading, for a Pro-Am, it's a hell of a professional lineup. I mean, you get to see a two-time world champion, the Kashan fight, and James Robinson. That's going to be a damn good fight. I mean, if you know local boxing, you know that's a good fight.
And not just that, when you put two guys together that don't have James Robinson's 6-12, I believe it is, and Kayshawn's 6-5. It's not like you have two guys who are like 18-1 and 18-4 or something of that sort. You have two guys who really have nothing to lose and they have everything to gain. So they put it all out there. I remember years ago doing a show at the River Edge where I had two opponents that really needed to win, and I made a deal with them, and I told them, look, here's the deal, $1,500 for each of you, and the winner gets a $500 bonus. You talk about two guys that fought their heart out. Oh my goodness, it was spectacular. I loved it. But that's what you can end up having with those kind of fights. And then there again we got Luis Morales, who's from Harrisburg, who's walks around, who's a smaller 112, 115 pound fighter, fighting Jared Minor, who Minor for the first time is actually fighting someone who's smaller than him.
Yeah.
So look at Minor's record. It's not very good. He always seems to lose, almost like he's in a race and he's always one step behind the other guy. But this is the first time he's fighting someone who's actually physically smaller than him. So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, it is. I think it'll be a good fight as well. Luis Morales, his nickname is Bazooka. He's a very fan-pleasing fighter. Loves to play to the crowd. Given that I think there is going to be such a great atmosphere and crowd for this event, with Kermit being the main event, probably this venue is going to be sold out or at capacity or close to it.
Without a doubt, it will be.
It's a smaller venue. I think that the atmosphere is going to be something really special, and true boxing fans will really be able to get into this event.
That's why Greg, I'm telling you, Greg Serb would always say, Marshall, I loved it when we did the River Edge.
Yeah.
He said he loved it because it was a very intimate setting. I mean, you had people right on top of people. It was just, it really was. And we had 800 people in there. That was a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the capacity holds, about 850, somewhere around there. And so it's going to be a great night. It's going to be some screaming fans, and what better way to start off when you have young kids, amateurs, fighting as well, and then to end it with a former two-time world champion in Kermit Cintron.
Right.
So
yeah, it's a really unique card. I mean, I can't emphasize that enough. In terms of boxing shows, typically when you get pro-am shows, the promoters are doing it because they don't have much in the way of professional boxing to promote. So the amateurs are a way to essentially make up costs and cover the cost of the event. This is an event where these 3 pro fights could stand. I mean, they could stand alone. These are all good fights, well matched, which is a hallmark of King's promotion shows. But man, I mean, bang for your buck with this show is tremendous. That's really good.
I agree.
Really good.
And talk about bang for your buck. Let's move on to 12-6, because when you want to talk about bang for your buck, these 3 fights that we have that are lined up, just the main and the co-main and the co-main, however you want to look at, alone are going to be great fights. when we have December the 6th at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, where you can get your tickets at 2300arena.com. Michael Fox, who's 21-1, going up against Johnny Ariano, who's 10-1 with 9 knockouts. Big puncher. I looked him up, and he's fought tough opposition. He's knocked out a couple undefeated guys. Also tall. He's 6'2", you know. And Mike Fox even posted something. He's by far he's going to be facing his tallest opponent yet, you know. And he means it, you know. Prior to that was Trayshawn Wiggins, who gave Mike some trouble.
Gives everybody trouble.
Yeah, exactly. So he's in this fight with another tall puncher, and so that fight itself, the main event's going to be pretty interesting. And of course, we have high hopes for Mike as he's moving up in the ratings. And he's what I love about the Fox is that they'll fight anybody. So that's a great thing. Then in our co-feature, that's a fight that could be a showbox type fight. You have Calvin Henderson, who's 12-0. Going up against Kink Palana. You know, Kink's upset. He's upset-minded. He wants to come in and beat you. And his only defeat was on a card that I put together down in Houston, where he was having an elbow issue, and he really couldn't fight. But he looked at the opponent he was fighting, and he thought, okay, I can beat him. And he lost a split decision in that fight. It was a close fight, and he could have won that fight, but he lost probably due to hometown decision, hometown judges, who knows, but it was a close fight. So I think Kink against Calvin Henderson is going to be a very interesting fight, which I think could be a showbox type fight. You know, I mean, tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Gank is kind of, he's a fighter that I don't want to like because of what he did with Jamal in his last fight.
Right.
But I can't help but like the guy. And you know, I talked to him a bit after the fight, and he comes across in the ring as brash and cocky, but when you talk to him outside of the ring,
he's not that way at all.
He's not that way.
No.
So I think it's just kind of part of you know, him getting into the fight. He's a really nice guy.
Right.
I think this fight's an extremely interesting fight because, I mean, we know that Jamal, he's older. I mean, his prime was probably 10 or 12 years ago. But Jamal's an extremely tough guy. And, you know, you could hit him with a Mack truck and he could keep going. And he didn't get knocked down by Gank in the fight, but he was bothered a lot by his punches. Right. And right from the, you know, he hurt his eye in the first round of the fight. Gank just has an interesting style. I don't know how to describe it.
Right.
Really, I couldn't tell you how to describe his style at this point.
No, it's very awkward. It really is. It's almost like a European style.
Yeah.
You know?
He puts his punches together, but he's not necessarily like he's not coming forward for the most part.
Right.
I don't know how to describe it, but he's an awkward fighter. He puts his punches together well. I think he has more power than his record necessarily suggests. And fighting Calvin Henderson, who he's a great boxer puncher, a lot of skills. Beat Brandon Robinson, I thought pretty convincingly. That was 2018 Fight of the Year in Philadelphia, correct? Won the Briscoe Award. It was a great fight, but I thought that Calvin controlled it throughout. And I think on paper, this looks like a fight that Calvin should win, but there's just something about Gank that it's like, I don't know.
No, I agree with you, and I think there's a lot of other people